We're just getting started here. I've got a poll here. If you're good with posting this to YouTube, or if you're not, and whatever wins here wins, and I'll post later if that's what everybody chooses. Again, team, if you would like to share and speak, you can change your name you could change your name here, your display name, and you can also turn off your video camera. And so you can be a little incognito there, okay?
There's the baby.
Welcome, welcome everybody. Just getting settled. It's so good to see all you guys here. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Sonia's got COVID. Everybody sent her some love and healing. Rose, Nikki, Mary, Malik, Kimberly, Julie, Heidi. Oh, you guys, this is so great. Eric, Dawn again, Catherine. Some of you were on the first one here. Sharon, Anya, Brandy, Monica Ashman. Monica and Ashman will be my co-host today. So if you're having any issues, you can chat with them directly. If you've got any questions, they can help answer. I'm not really on the chat much when I'm doing this. I'm just kind of more paying attention to what's going on. So I won't be able to respond back to your questions in real time. We do save the chat, and I'll look at those later. And if you've got questions in the chat for me, I will respond to you later. Maybe how am I going to do that? That's a good question. Maybe include your email or something if you're going to message directly through Zoom. All right, guys. Welcome everybody. If you just joined, hello, who's that?
Allie.
Allie, good to see you, Allie.
Yeah, it's been a while, Shawna.
It sure has. Oh my gosh. Allie, about a year ago, when did we have a one-on-one?
2 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, some of you who've been around since the beginning. So I'm into this YouTube channel, 2 years and a few months.
I was right to the get-go, bud.
Well, I'm so glad to see you again. Gosh, you guys. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. Just go ahead and take some nice deep breaths, and just for fun, see if you can kind of feel into the energy of the collective that we have going on right here. A lot of excitement. My heart's racing. That's probably me, but it might be a little bit of you. By the way, so far we're winning with you're good for posting this to YouTube. So keep that in mind, guys. That's probably the way we'll go. I'll end up probably posting this. We'll see how it unfolds, but just keep that in mind. Please, I hope that doesn't stop you from sharing. This is why we're here. This is a support call for this collective group here, this beautiful, amazing boots on the ground, Army of Light, Earth Division. And I mean, I'm not kidding when I say that. That's exactly how I feel about each and every one of you here, and everybody who will watch this later. Like, this is so exciting. Let's see what else. I cleaned at my new place all day and broke a couple of nails. It's okay, it's all good. And I did talk with Melchizedek briefly, and we had about an hour's worth of energy work. And I just want to tell you guys, we hit a new high here today, a new higher vibration after about 50 minutes of energy work with them. If you remember here a few days ago, I slept for an hour and a half while they were in the middle of doing energy work with me. And they said, Shawna, focus on your heart with me. And I conked out. So it was the same thing this afternoon. Shawna, focus on your heart with us. And I fought sleeping. I was like, my head was kind of bobbing and I was feeling the energy really strong, but it was just zapping me. I don't know. I just want to fall asleep. Well, I powered through it, and about 50 minutes in, it was like a door opened and this light came on, and I was just in this different space. And they said, this is where we want to be all the time. This was just like an hour and a half ago. This is where we want to be all the time. I'm like, wow. I mean, I could really feel this. And I said, well, what do I need to do to try to maintain this? And they said, nothing outside of what we've already told you. You know, we've got there's a big list of things to do to keep our vibrations high. So they said that they're going to be, continuing to nurture nurture this level of vibration. And again, what's happening for me is happening for you as a collective. So I'm a beacon, you're a beacon, we're light workers. We're here putting off a frequency of light, of love, of higher vibration, that is here to serve the collective in general. So we've got our own collective here of light workers, and we are going, it's kind of like a train the trainer type situation, teach the teacher here. And then eventually, as we all raise our collective vibration here, just our team, that's going to be exponentially more powerful as we broadcast this out to the larger humanity. Okay. So we got this. I'm feeling really, really good today. All right. So this is a support call. I I want to support you. We've got a team here. I know there's so many of us who feel lonely, kind of maybe pushed to the sidelines from existing friends and family. And maybe it's not even them that have done that. Maybe that's you, and maybe it's just the energetics of our time. So there could be many, many reasons why you may be drifting, if that's happening for you. I've talked to a lot of people who are ending major relationships, not just in this group, but even in my personal world. So many people in transition with major relationships. Um, and this is all good. This is exactly what needs to be happening. New beginnings, a new chapter. That's another thing Melchizedek talked about today. This is a new chapter for us. We are heading into new territory, and it feels good. I mean, grace and ease. Melchizedek talking about this in Crying as well yesterday. All right, so relationships are big, right? I'm having a hard time with all the election stuff, all the negativity and the blasting and the bombing of all that. I'm just like going crazy, just trying to ignore all of that. Maybe you're feeling like you need to be moving and getting out of your current location because that vibration's just not working anymore. You're feeling closed in. I can certainly relate to that. Maybe you've got weird energy fluctuations happening in your body. You are hearing things or sensing things. Maybe your intuition is coming alive. There's so much, right? There's so much that is part of this awakening process. So much is part of this feeling into these higher vibrations that we've never felt before as a species. I mean, we're on the front lines of this right now, kind of bringing this in and emanating it out. Front lines, we are kind of right there on those surfboards trying to ride these waves in to shore, feeling a little bit wobbly. But anyway, we're doing good. Melchizedek and Cryon, again, just talking about how they're sensing a change in the field. We're stepping into this role more clearly, more confidently, and really embracing this platform of love. All right. So welcome everybody. Thanks so much for joining. We are going to post this to YouTube for those of you who have just joined. You can change your name and you can stop your video if you'd like to share, and if you're a little nervous about being in the public, domain. All right, with that being said, anybody who wishes to share, please give me a hand raise or unmute yourself and hop in. Let me go to gallery view here so I can see what's going on. And it's so good to see everybody and put names to faces to names. So thanks. And again, you don't have to show your face. Don't feel like you have to do that. But is there anybody here? Looks like Malik. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself, hun.
Hello, hello, wonderful, beautiful, amazing souls that have come here today. I'm a bit nervous. Never really done the whole public thing, but I just want to say, like, Shawna, for one, I have so much love for you and everything that it is that we do here. And I just want you to know, like, personally in my life, I feel like this came to me at like just the right time. And I have never really felt, honestly, accepted really isn't even the word that I would like to use here, because it's just like oil and water it's just like kind of like how I felt growing up. Because, looking at me, I'm just like, here I am, part of this new generation here. I'm a young African-American male, and instead of, being concerned about, like basketball games, Yeezy shoes, and you know, the pop culture, the Instagram, the Snapchat. I never really felt drawn to these things. And throughout my development and growing above everything else, I think that love was what mattered to me. And, you know, especially in our society, I feel like being a man of love is something that it's not regarded as something that is important. It's regarded as like a weakness. So like sensitivity is weakness, and love and these things, you know, care and compassion, these are not things of a man. You know, these are things, this is what I was taught. And a huge reason that I was drawn to, you know, you and this channel has a lot to do with Chiron's energy, or Cryon. Excuse me for the mispronunciation. The energy of this being has attracted me for so many reasons, but mainly so because of the masculine eminence of the energy, and also the masculine eminence of your energy as well, when it comes to how you were living your life. And I'm just going based off of what was said in YouTube videos. The like the management or like corporate type work, which is in our world, it's what is what is expected of everyone, you know, to have that job and to make sure that you have your finances in check, and things like that. And I feel like it's just created this imbalance of masculine and feminine energies on the planet. So again, like the energy of Cryon has been speaking to me and really connecting with me. And it's been helping me get through some very dark times throughout my journey. Recently, I had a falling out with my family, and like you said, with the ending of relationships, I have realized that sometimes if you are in a relationship and the energy is not where it needs to be, sometimes you have to remove yourself from that situation so that you can come to your own center, you can become the best of who it is that you're meant to be, so that, you know, if God willing, you're going to return to this relationship, you can return as that being of light, as that person that you're supposed to be. And for me, I feel like I have a imbalance of that energy as well. So I have just been working on balancing that energy on myself, and also dealing with intergenerational trauma within the African American community. And recently, the Jewish community has been experiencing a lot of anti-Semitism, and it just breaks my heart to see and to, you know, really remember that this type of hatred, you know, exists in the world. And another thing that has attracted me to this channel, and a conclusion point here, because I don't want to, you know, prattle on, but the reptilian energy, and it's a very, very negative presence in my life. I have realized just how much control this reptilian energy can have over us and over everyone. The amount of control and the amount of dominance that they will, you know, make sure that they have. And a huge part of my journey has been dismantling that energy, standing against that energy, and saying, you know, I'm going to stand here and I will not tolerate this. So yeah, many of these wonderful, beautiful things are what led me to this channel, and I'm just so glad and grateful to be here, and, you know, just full of love and, you know, grateful. Yeah.
Wow, Malik, you did so good for being nervous. Nicely,
Thank you.
nicely spoken. Just beautiful. And there's only maybe I see Eric here, maybe you couple of, and Ashvin, of course, but you know, there's just a few men here on the call, and this is um, I commend you so much for your bravery and your ability to articulate these feelings. You're going to be speaking for so many men who are on this path with the way that you're able to articulate these things. So I say use your voice, use that throat chakra, and you just continue to just do what you're doing with eyes wide open here. Malik, maybe you could help others out. You know, what's your daily routine like? How are you handling the day to day? Are you meditating, or what are you doing?
So I'm glad that you asked, actually. As a result of what happened between me and my family, I had to become self-sufficient. So I did pick up a job. I work full-time for Amazon, and I do work an overnight shift. So working an overnight shift does require a massive amount of energy management, which is one of the reasons I chose to come to this time slot instead of the other one, as opposed to the one that's in the United States, because it does work easier with my schedule. And so one of the things that I noticed when I started watching your videos is how your schedule also did undergo some changes. And around the time my schedule was undergoing some changes as well. So and like I said, with this connection to Cryon, and again, I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly.
Cryon, you got it. Yep.
Cryon, awesome. This attraction to this energy has led me to realize that one thing that I have lacked in my spiritual journey is, the devotion and the discipline, really getting down on that yoga mat, really sitting down and doing that meditation and making sure that energy work gets done. That's what I have been lacking, I feel like, and Cryon has really helped to fill that gap, so to speak. So my daily routine, I clock in around 10 o'clock at night. So I do sleep through the majority of the day, and I exercise. I try to exercise every single day, and I give myself 1 to 2 rest days. Another thing, and I am kind of going on a limb and just kind of saying this here, it has been difficult for me personally to express my own masculinity because of my weight. It's very easy for people to comment on my weight because I'm a little bit on the slimmer side, and it has made it a little difficult for me to feel comfortable in my own skin, but I'm moving past that. And part of my routine now is making sure that I'm eating enough. I started, bulky, making sure I'm getting enough calories. So when I get home from work around 7:30 to 8 a.m. in the morning, I eat eggs, toast, whatever I have. I try to stay away from the meat, honestly, but I'm just such a big fan for bacon. But I am trying to cut the meat out of my diet again, get back to the beans and the rice. But I do eat what I can. I get in I want to say a good 20 to 30 minutes of working out. I try to get some cardio, muscle building if I can get it. And then I will do some yoga if I have time. I have about a 15-minute power yoga routine that I like to do that is, super, not super intense, but it gets the job done. And my goal is to just try to kind of wring myself out like a sponge, because throughout the day we pick up that energy in our bodies. And I like to try to soothe that energy. And then when I have finished my yoga, when I finish my working out, I like to try to sit down and meditate and just focus on the energy of the day and realign all of my energies. And then I'll just watch some Netflix or do something to keep my hands busy until I fall asleep. I have been trying to get more sleep because it's very important to take care of the body. I sleep anywhere from 5 to 7 hours a day, and then I wake up, get ready, and it's time to clock in once again. And that's kind of what my schedule looks like.
Nice. Well, it seems like a good balance. You're beautiful. Don't worry. You're eating healthy. You are giving your body and your vessel a lot of respect and love. So, kudos to you, and thanks for sharing. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, is there anything else, Malik? What city, or maybe you don't have to tell the city, but what state are you in?
Oh, I'm in Los Angeles, California.
LA. Okay.
And it's pretty rough out here.
Yeah, just think about the energies there, right? Yeah, so much going on in LA. Okay, good to know. Is there anything else this team can help support you with?
Other than just being here and being your bright, beautiful souls, and just knowing, and the energy, the energy grid, I do feel a little bit of Cryon coming to me now and saying the energy grid, for me personally, as soon as I joined the call, I could just feel it. Like you said, your heart was racing, mine is as well. Yeah. I could just feel the energies. And like you said, this is new territory that we're moving into here. And we're we're learning new things, experiencing energies we've never experienced before. So to support me, just support yourselves, and just knowing that there are other beautiful souls out there who are going through what we're going through, it helps me a lot.
Well said, Malik. Thank you. I'd love to see you on YouTube doing exactly what you're doing here. It's helping support those other men out there who are in this space and needing some support. Nicely done,
Thank you.
Malik. Nicely done. Okay. I am Sunny Side Up.
Oh, it's me.
Yep.
It's Sonia. Sorry, I changed it. I was wondering if will Melchizedek or Cryon make a visit to us? I have a question because I'm trying not to be afraid when I hear Melchizedek. Melchizedek is being very strong with his words lately. And when he told you that the dark times are coming, I mean, they're preparing you. How do we prepare? Who's
Well,
preparing us?
they're preparing you too, Sonia. I mean, they talk about the collective all the time, and this is who they're talking about. This
Is
is
there
all of
anything that
us.
we can like do in like real life, like to prepare?
So let me make sure I'm understanding your question here, Sonia. So so obviously I'm on YouTube and I'm sharing these messages and I'm sharing the energy and the explanations they're giving. We've got their books and such. So Sonia, are you looking for something more personal to your situation, like hoping these guys will come in for you?
Well, they can come in if they want to, but I'm looking for all of us, the collective, like how do we prepare for these hard times to support you and to support us and our families?
Yeah. I mean, just really tuning in here, Sonia, it is all about this love and it's not the fear. And how hard is it to not be in fear when they're really being hard hitting with their messages? Look at Resurrection in that book with through Paul
Right.
Selig.
I just
Holy
finished.
mackerel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
So
amazing.
yeah, amazing, hard hitting, to the point.
Right,
Out of the
right,
10 or so books, right, Sonia? Like that was
right.
like they mentioned ascension
This
on
was it. Yep,
they
yep.
they talk about, they're like, yeah, people, this is happening and this is why things are crazy right now. Yeah, so Sonia, I mean, it seems to be at odds with each other, but the idea here that they're I think they're hoping that by being prepared, by knowing what's coming and why it's happening, why
Yeah,
these are this the chaos, the crazy, the hard times. It's an effect of a cause, and the cause is ascension.
sure, sure.
Yeah, so
I
it's like being
understand all of
informed.
that. I was
Okay.
just thinking when it hits, like it's gonna hit hard. How do we, oh, I guess it's just, we have to remember who we are.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I actually just felt Melchizedek say that. Like I didn't say it. We have to remember who we are. Oh,
You
wow.
remember channeling in our one-on-one session, you talked to
You
Mother
know what?
Mary.
Anytime that I talk to you, you help me channel.
Yes.
Absolutely. I have noticed that all the times that I talk to you, I'm like, oh my God, why don't I have her all the time with me? Okay, well, I guess I answered my own question, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, Sonia, because I think we tend to put these things in a box. Well, if I do this and I do these three things, then I'm going to be okay. But
Yes,
it's so much more complicated than that. And remembering who and what we are and why we're here and how we serve. Sonia, you've been through all the books with me. You've been with
right,
me since the very, very beginning of my YouTube
yes,
channel. You know what to do. It's just it's hard. It is hard.
yeah,
I hate to
yeah.
say that out
I
loud, but
think it's just like, um, your house is on fire. Like, what do you take? Well, literally, Matt is the first thing that I'll grab.
your son,
But
yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And it's just like the knowing that it's coming. It's more, I feel it in my stomach. Like I feel, I don't know if it's fear or excitement. to be
It could be a
honest.
little bit of both. I certainly feel both. I certainly feel
Yeah,
both of those things. And it's heightened energies too. So that's even like in our fields right now. So
yes,
dealing with that, it's like,
right,
and
right.
imagine for people who aren't aware of what this is and the energies coming onto the
Exactly.
planet, how hard it would be for them.
Yeah,
They may not have the tools. Here's one
yep,
thing that keeps coming through, Sonia. It's to see what's unfolding before us. And you say it's coming, hun, it's already here. It's already happening now, today, in this
right,
moment. Okay.
right, yeah,
It is thinking of this, regarding this as an incredible opportunity to be of service and to be able to be that beacon, hold this light, hold this love when other people really, really need it, Sonia. And to think of this as really an honor and a privilege,
it
and
is,
and
yes,
and not be swept up under the wave with
yes, yes,
all of it. Okay, hun? I know you
yes,
got this.
yep. Thank you.
You got this. I love you.
I love you too.
Nice. Anybody else want to comment? Go for it, Sandra.
Sorry, I was on mute.
You're good.
Okay. Anyway, I've been listening to you for a while and I just love everything that you're doing and saying. And I've been on this spiritual quest for most of my adult life. But I was gonna say recently, like my mother died and I just had a very, it was a spiritual awakening because I was able to be with her, the last days of her life. And she,
Yeah.
in fact, had visitations come through, and I was there when she was talking in her native language in German to the visitors. And then, I asked her who she was talking to, and she said it was her parents. And they said that they waited long enough for her and that it was her time and that she was going to be leaving the earthly plane in 10 days. And I said, how do you know that? Are they going to have a party for you? And she said, yes, they're going to have a big party for me. And prior to that, I mean, my mom lived a long life. She's 98 years old when she passed. So but
98?
anyway, yes, 98.
Bless her heart.
And so long story short, I had all these amazing experiences, and I felt these different energies come in and be around the house, and I felt like everything fell into place the way it should have. It's like I knew what dress to dress her in when it was time.
Mm.
And then we had the family there, and it's like it's just I can't explain it other than everything flowed just the
Oh,
way it was supposed to,
yeah.
you know.
Yes.
And then there were these signs like she loves strawberries, and then during her death it was a strawberry moon, you know. And another thing was birds. The birds were all around the house and in the yard when I'd go outside. And then the day she passed, they all left, you know.
Wow.
And so all these things. And so anyway, that was the beginning where I said, you know what, I've always believed that there was, afterlife, God, Jesus, whatever. Um, but that was the first time it's like I really felt like, yeah, there really is, because I'm kind of connecting a little bit here. They're giving me a piece of it. And
Wow.
then I went on to ask for signs, after my mom passed, send me some signs. And oh my God, they sent real specific signs. So there's no doubt in my mind, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
so so but I guess my question is, it's like I when I meditate slash pray, I kind of talk to Mike, the Archangel Michael,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and 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 I just kind of sense things. So and I just kind of going with the flow. So I guess my question is like, you're channeling. Do you hear the voices, or is it just feelings and impressions that come up for you? Because sometimes, I'll be sleeping and then I'll wake up and then just these words come out of my mouth like the eternal now, you're living in the eternal now. And I'm going like, what the heck?
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. And just things like that. So, it's not like I don't I don't want it, it's not like I want to be a channeler, but I just want to know, are there different ways that the spirit talks to us, I guess.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yes, Sandra. And what a beautiful story about your mom. And it was the same for my dad. Just it flowed so beautifully. It was such a beautiful passing, and it was just, just amazing. But
Mhm.
blessings to you and your mom. Um, the channeling, I mean, let's not even call it channeling. The connection that we're getting with our guides, with our soul families, our star families, these ascended masters, the archangels, the collectives like Melchizedek. I mean, Cryon of Magnetic Services. I don't know if anybody's read the Urantia book or even tried to. It's just this kind of like, makes my eyes glaze over. But like, there's so much going on outside of our earth plane here with us humans, and all of this vast, all these beings, and they're all eyes on earth right now with this ascension. It's never been tried before. These spirit guides are just clamoring to work with us deeply, one on one. And a lot of times we just don't feel worthy. We just don't trust ourselves. We don't trust the voices, or we expect it to look a certain way and then it doesn't. And so we think, whatever. So I would say for you, Sandra, and anybody who is wanting to kind of take a step into this, maybe dip a toe, I want you to throw out all expectations for what that might look like, feel like, sound like. Throw all of that out. And another thing I want to say is, not everybody's cut out to see stuff in their minds, visualize. Not everybody's cut out to be auditory. Um, the trick is, it's the knowing in your heart center, that knowing that hits you right here, that really is the crux of the connection. Everything else is just a point from A to B. It's like the mechanism to get you there. And so, I mean, and Sonia and I have talked about this so many times about what does it mean to channel and to be, let's just talk about being connected and being tuned in, your higher self, your energetic field, the collective's energetic field. Then it's asking for help. Asking you for help out loud. State these intentions out loud. I don't feel like it, you can maybe in your mind go, gosh, it'd be sure be nice to connect with my spirit guide. But I say declare it, write it down in a journal and declare it. And ask every day for that connection to happen and be open to what comes through. So I think for you, Sandra, when early on, when my energy would change, I'd actually start to get an irritation in my throat chakra. And that's when I knew somebody was going to come through. And again, I'm speaking, I'm hearing, but I also had these thought bombs just land on me like from Metatron. So everybody communicates a little bit different. It's about just like, ooh, my energy just shifted. I'm going to drop everything I'm doing and I'm going to wait and see what happens. And I mean, unless I was in the middle of a meeting at work or something, I would drop. I mean, if I'm writing an email or cooking dinner or whatever, I would drop everything I'm doing and I would tune into that. I would get an energy fluctuation, and I'd always have my phone handy. And whenever these words come in, I hit my record button on the iPhone and I just start speaking the words that I'm hearing. Early on, it was my journals, writing everything down that I was hearing. I've also typed things out, not just hearing, Sandra, it's like knowing, impressions. All of a sudden, I know a bunch of stuff and it didn't come through auditory at all. Like it was just something like all of a sudden I know it. And you can ask your team to be really obvious with you too. I constantly, especially earlier, Melchizedek and Cryon tend to come in a little more stronger, and I'm feeling much more grounded in my ability to be accurate with the information coming through. But it has been a 4-year journey. I mean, I pray to be a clear and concise channel. If there is debris in my field, please just knock through that debris and reach me. I'm going for 100% accuracy here. So, I state that to my team. I want this to be, especially as a steward of this information, I want to be 100% accurate. So it's taken me 4 years to trust myself. 4 years of kind of like, okay. And I probably have 450 recorded channelings on my phone from the last 4 years. So, and this is all kinds of beings with all kinds of things to say. I could write another few books, but a lot of it's personal, and it was just helping me to awaken. So yeah, girl, get your journal going, write it down. If you get woken up in the middle of the night with something, keep a journal or, record that into your phone. Take that time. When you don't record it and you don't write it down, you tend to lose it and it just goes out into the ether with all your other monkey mind stuff, with all your other thoughts. So that's a long answer, but I think a lot of people, we're to this point, team, where you could be tuning in and getting this kind of information and communing in this way, connecting in your own special way. Maybe you're seeing stuff, smelling stuff, feeling stuff, or like with your mom, and it's, you know, these other signs. So now's the time for magic. This is the time for magic. So just be open, and just, regardless of whether or not it feels like it's just you or you're making it up, write it down anyway, revisit it later. This starts to build your evidence.
I think for me, it's I've had like my third eye open before in the past, where it was like just a TV screen, and I saw an accident happen before it actually happened, you know. And then I've heard a voice, like I'm thinking it was my guardian angel who told me that my sister-in-law was dying, you know. And then I get the phone call. So I've had those kind of things, but you know, and maybe that's not the way I'm supposed to hear other things from my team.
Get rid of the whole not supposed to. Get rid of not supposed to.
Okay.
You can have all of that. You can have all of that plus anything else, you know. All of it's valid and all of it's perfect, you know. So yeah, that's like precognition, intuition, your, you know, psychic abilities, precognition. So that's beautiful. These voices that are, you know, coming through, this could be your higher self. It could be it could be all kinds of folks, but just start listening and make time for that, Sandra. Make time for that every day.
Okay. And not have any expectations, I guess, is what I'm hearing too.
No, just let them kind of, you guys kind of have to meet in the middle. You know, and here's another thing, guys, you are kind of meeting your team halfway. You got to want it, you got to state it out loud, you know, make some sacred space, some time and effort to clear your mind, get quiet, get in a place where they can communicate with you, where your mind's just not filling up all the void with chatter. Okay. So you gotta meet them halfway and state your intention out loud. Helps with the resonance.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Sandra. Thanks for sharing. It's beautiful. Ms. Dawn.
Hola, hello everyone.
Hello.
I have a question about the collective grid work. I was hoping that maybe you could elaborate on that a little bit, maybe share your technique or any pointers or suggestions on how to do that.
Yeah. Thanks, Dawn. You know, there is no one way to connect to the grid. And so just trust yourselves, guys. You know, if you're making the effort, you've set the intention, and you're giving it a good try, that you will connect to that grid. And there's a couple of different ways to do it. Are you just kind of connecting just to kind of feel into it? Or are you trying to do something with the collective grid? You know, maybe for some of us who are starting out with the grid, it's just a matter of, I'd like to, you know first of all, that you're a part of the grid. You're already there, okay? And we're all one. We just forget that when we come here. So you're already part of the grid. You're already tuned in. You just, you know, it's all this other stuff that gets in the way with this density that kind of stops you from really feeling and knowing that. So setting an intention, and then kind of, you know, making space and time for it. And those are pretty broad instructions. Cryon, Melchizedek have used many different kind of metaphors for the grid and ways to connect. The autumnal equinox, we connected to the collective grid. And so if you go back to that meditation from, what was that, guys? Was that September 21st? So if you go back and do that.
Equinox, yeah.
Yeah. And then they, you know, the sitting in the river and kind of allowing yourself to be swept up into this river, you know, and like going with that flow and kind of connecting to that flow and that current, you know. Cryon for me lately, when he says, let's do some, you know, can we work on the grid? He'll come in and you guys can do this super simple. Open up your hearts. So, you know, I'm quiet. I've already been sitting for 20 minutes, probably just letting my mind kind of empty and clear. And we start by opening our hearts. And this takes a good 10-15 minutes to allow, you know, the dust to settle, the brain waves to get into a different state of consciousness, and you can really feel into the heart. So it just starts really local with yourself, with your heart, connecting there first. And then other ways that we've done it is he's said, okay, Shawna, we want to shoot white light straight up. And he said to me, don't worry about finding the grid. Just know that you are connecting to it. So I think, we're kind of already plugged in and a part of it. So it's not like we have to really search for it. Just you're setting that intention to just bring light straight up. Imagine this grid is covering the planet. I've seen it as the flower of life. I've seen it as literally like grid lines. I've seen it as just a beautiful white light haze. I've seen, maybe iridescent sparklies in this thing. I've seen faces. I've seen people in the collective grid. I've seen, thousands of like what would be bodies that are part of the grid and connecting to that. So honestly, for me, Dawn, it's a little different every time I go in, but I just allow kind of the energy to speak for itself and to do what it wants to do instead of trying to really force it. There is no one way to connect. And it's a personal experience, guys. Imagine this is experiential for you. This will be your unique journey with the grid. And see what happens. You can always, as you sit down, ask your team, your guides to help you connect. So you state that out loud to begin with. Open up that heart, and then it's kind of connecting up. You can throw in some earth energy to bring that up and out. I've also visualized like these actual like lines or cords almost connecting each, like a bunch of people on the planet, like all around the planet. And as we connect through our kind of our crown chakras, this whole earth just lights up. It just lights up like a light bulb. So that's another thing. And I say I would say at least a half hour, guys. If you could give it an hour, even better, but you have to experience this for yourselves. You got to make the time to get in there and experiment around with the visuals, the energies, the feelings, the auditory, again, however that's going to work best for you. But the most important thing I'm hearing from the team here is intention. That's the key.
Awesome. I appreciate all that information. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Dawn. Thank you. Malik again.
Yes, hello. I just wanted to add on to what you were saying earlier about how the energy can be communicated. And one huge thing that has helped me in my journey, because I do very much consider myself to be an empath. And when it comes to like receiving different types of energy, one way that really helped me understand it was an explanation like so. So basically, let's say I wanted to get a message to you, Shawna. I could send you a text message. I could call you. I could send you an email. I could mail you a letter. I could, God forbid, I could throw a rock through your window. There are so many different things that I could do, so many different ways to send this message to you. And in each way, the result is you getting the message. So a lot of when it comes to the like channeling, or like you said, the connection, that energy, it'll come however it's meant to come to you. Like for me personally speaking, it will come through the heart center. It may come through my crown chakra. It really just depends on where like what type of information it is and where it's coming from and all of those good things. So that's just one thing I wanted to share and add, because that's helped me a lot on my journey.
Beautiful. Thank you, Malik. Thanks for that. JH.
Hi, Shawna.
Hi. We did a one-on-one session, didn't we, a while back?
Yes, we did. We did. And it was really cute because my kids were like, you're meeting a famous YouTuber. I don't know if
That's
you remember
right.
that. They
All
were so
fame and
excited.
fortune right here. Yeah.
So I work in a school and I'm trying to bring the light into it as the school system. I don't know if anybody here works in a school, but it's public schools are really tough right now. It's kind of like the medical system. Some of these big systems they're hard to work in. They feel heavy. It's pretty obvious that they're breaking down.
Yeah.
But I'm still in it. So I've getting mixed emotions because I'm like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But anyway, I think what I'm supposed to do, because the messages that I'm getting are like anchor. I get the feeling like to anchor light there. So I wasn't really thinking of it as me sending light up. It's more like bringing light down. And I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so good to see you again. So I mean, just tuning in here, I mean, you tune in and if I could just like think about your school and I think about you in that school as this light, I actually am feeling like this, it's not just your school, it's the whole public school system. And Melchizedek has talked about these things just breaking down. They're just going to be crumbling, right? Oh, I mean, and it has to. It's built in the old energies, that heaviness, that's real, hon. I mean, that's for real. But it's like, think of that school as your own collective grid. Think of that as a collective. I mean, it really is. And your presence and your awareness, and again, the intention will, you could make a huge difference there. And so, yeah, you could be collecting or connecting up to the collective grid in your time, and then really during the day when you're working, it can be your boots on the ground. You are boots on the ground, with your light, your presence, your awareness, and your intention, and you can move mountains.
Okay, it feels heavy. It really feels heavy lately.
Yeah. I think for you too, it'll be a matter of making sure that you know how to stay in high vibration around such heavy, dense energies. So Melchizedek with the awareness, discernment is this mine, and then the choice, setting that intention. So this seems to be the theme for tonight, guys, is the intention setting. Okay. So make sure that you lots of self-care, hun, lots of self-care. And are there any other empaths out here who might want to give some advice here for her working in this field? We'll come back to that. Is there anything else, hun?
That's all. Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for
You're welcome. Thanks for joining, and thanks for the work that you're doing in a heavy, outdated old school system. I just thank God there are people like you who can still function and manage in these systems, and with COVID, and I can feel it. I can feel the heaviness. So make sure you're lots of self-care.
Okay.
And that's how you're in service. Your self-care puts you in service. As the beacon. Okay. All right, Amanda. Good to see you again, Amanda. Yay.
I know it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Yes. Just a point to JH. I would say set your boundaries before you walk into the school. Set your, white light orb around you or whatever, you do for self-protection. So that would be my thought on that, because that is it's a heavy, dense place right now. That's for sure. But I wanted to share, I have been intrigued by people that can do channeling for many, many years, and always wanted to do it and could never get it to work, right. And I have, I work a lot with crystals, and I got moldavite. I don't know, if people have really heard of moldavite. It's a pretty powerful stone, and I work at a crystal store, and we got some in, and I was like, nope, don't want it, not touching it, not gonna work with it at all. And one day I was at work, and it was like, you need to buy a piece. Just heard this. I'm like, I don't want to. I did. I bought a piece, and then I just had it on my dresser at home and ignored it for a while. And you need to work with this. Oh, okay, fine. So I sat down in my meditation chair, had my moldavite, and got my notebook. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to write stuff. And I started to write, and I just hear no, get your phone and record it. And I had never done a voice recording on the phone, so I had to download an app and do it. And
yay,
15-minute channeled stuff came right through me, and I was like, what is happening? It was so cool. And so now I've done it 3 or 4 times, just holding this moldavite and just sitting, and amazing channeled messages just come through. And now I'm like, oh, I can ask questions, can't I? So now I kind of think of some questions before I sit down, so I know what I'm going to ask. And it's fascinating, listening back to it.
Yeah.
My voice is different.
Yeah.
It's just my logical mind is just right. It's like, what?
Yeah,
But
you just gotta, yeah, just never mind that logical piece of this puzzle. Get rid of that part.
right.
Congratulations, Amanda. The Moldavite, isn't that the little green
Yeah.
stone? Isn't it like a moonstone? What's the story with Moldavite?
So it is, they say it's extraterrestrial,
Okay.
that it actually came from someplace else and
Yes.
landed on the earth. And so it's time, I mean, the piece I have is
And
just,
it's a fortune. They're expensive.
yeah, the piece I have is half the size of a penny, right? And it was $85.
Yeah, I've seen it. My brother is a huge fan. He's not spiritual at all. I mean, he's completely spiritual, but he's not into this stuff.
Yeah.
But he wears that around his neck every day, and he's amazing. So yeah, so he's a huge Moldavite fan. That's the only reason really why I know about it. So this guide, is it many guides that are coming through? Is it a spirit guide? Do you know yet? I mean, it's so hard to know. I mean,
Right.
and that can come later.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. I was like, okay, who am I talking to? And I know I have 2 spirit guides that I've worked with in the past and connected with before. And so they said that it was them again. So I was like, okay, cool.
I love it. I've talked to a lot of people. This is happening. Yeah, guys, making space and setting an intention and being open, even if it seems crazy or it seems like it's just you. Get that thing recorded, write it down, something, and look at it later.
Yeah,
Say
and
again, huh?
trusting, like
Trusting. Yeah.
having the trust, like, okay, my logical mind says this is crazy, but this is happening. Like, I've never
I
had
say, even if you don't trust, do it anyway. Because
Yeah.
I think for me, even it took a long time to trust. So I agree, Amanda, but I would just caveat this: even if you don't trust yet, do it anyway. Go with it anyway.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. And Amanda does tuning fork, Zoom healing. Do you still do this, Amanda?
I do. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I do biofield tuning. It's tuning forks. So using tuning forks to bring the body back into alignment, kind of clear out old traumas and emotions and things that have happened in your life. So yes, it's I do sessions, and I've done I can do distant sessions over Zoom. I've done it with Shawna
It was
and
amazing.
Monica, who's also on the call here as well. So
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I probably said I'll put you in my newsletter, then I kind of quit doing newsletters. So there you go. There's your plug. Anyway, she's great. Amanda's wonderful. Thank you, Amanda, for sharing.
Thank you, dear. Thanks for having this call. This is really nice. I love it.
You're so welcome. Is it Gia?
It's Gia.
Gia. Hi, Gia.
Hi, thank you for having me here. This is my first time. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, Gia. So glad you could join.
Thank you. So my question is, I'm having interesting dreams sometimes, and like when I remember them detailed in somehow like it happens, but some of them I cannot like I cannot tell what that means. And I actually see my principal, who is also here. She just spoke to you. I see her in my dream a lot too. And when I see her, I feel very connected, and that happens too. And the other day, I saw my mom passed away, and I'm from Turkey. I have conservative parents.
Yeah.
So I saw that I was 17 years old and I was having a baby girl. But I was so scared of my parents that I hid the girl in the oven and for a day. And I saw that Jane and my other close friends were around me. And then I decided to tell to my parents. And when I showed the baby girl to them, they were super happy. And then like it was very weird. And then we just went to some sort of garden. And then again, Jane was next to me, and it was full of flowers. Whole mountain was not greens but flowers. And then the ropes were over there, and we each grabbed a rope. And the owner of the garden, said that we need to grab a rope and make a wish, and it's gonna be okay. like I woke up and I was remembering every detail, and it really affected me because I never saw my mom in my dreams. She passed away more than 20 years ago, and she's always angry.
You okay?
And even though like I was having a baby when I was in high school, she was super happy and like everybody was celebrating the baby and stuff. And it was just weird. It really like it got stuck with me. I
Oh,
Yeah, I just don't know what those how can I interpret these dreams.
oh my gosh, Gia. So are you in Turkey now? Where are you at? Are you in the States?
Yeah, I'm a teacher here too. And
Okay.
yeah,
You're also a teacher. Okay.
yes.
You know, the dreams, I am no expert in the dream stuff. I am kind of, I've not really kept a journal. I I think what seems important about your dream here is just the beautiful kind of lightness, like make a wish and everything's going to be okay. And, kind of like that feeling. And, I think, obviously there's going to be all kinds of metaphors in our dreams and repressed stuff that can come up, and our guides could be communicating through our dreams. So I think dreams are really important. I personally am not really great at recording my dreams or taking a hard look at them. But there may be too, Gia, an opportunity for you to try lucid dreaming if you have more of these kinds of dreams. There's a couple of books out there. Robert Monroe's got some where you can be awake in your dream and interact. So that might be something that you're able to do. Wouldn't that be something? Like actually, there's different things you can do to actually be awake in your dreams and interacting and asking questions. And then I would say, as soon as you wake up, record it right away before you forget, because it'll kind of go off into the ether.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, I'll do that. I really can interact in my dreams. That's interesting. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
you can. It's called lucid dreaming. It's a thing. I've only
Mm-hmm.
done it, I'd say, twice. And there was a time there I was really trying it, and like early on in my awakening, um, one of my mentors was really deep into this, and I tried it, and I really did. I got it one time, and that was about it. But I do think that dreams are important, guys. I think they're kind of a gateway. I think we do a lot of work in our dream time. Um, Imagine you being in service 24/7, guys. While you're sleeping, you're in service. There's all kinds of theories and ideas and concepts about, doing really important healing work, growth work, support group support for others while we are sleeping. Our body's asleep, and we are out doing things, and we're being of service. So that's another thing to be aware of. Thank you,
Thank
Gia.
you.
Yeah, thank
Mhm.
you so much for sharing. It's so good to meet you. Ms. Sarah.
Hello, can you
Hello,
hear
hello.
me?
Yes.
Um, does anyone know how to get it off gallery view, by the way? Just quickly.
I
This
wonder
is
if it's
not what
me.
I
Okay, I
want to
just changed it
say,
to
but
speaker view. Does that change it for you?
no, it's all right.
Okay,
I'll
upper right
just
hand
say
corner. Upper right hand corner, Sarah, it says
upper
view.
right hand corner.
Hit the little view. You got speaker,
It says
gallery,
view.
immersive.
Yeah, right.
And
I don't seem to have that. Just a minute, I'll get the settings shown. It up. Sorry. Okay, let's see if that works.
okay.
Can you still see me anyway? I can't see me, but that's
Yep.
all right.
I can see you. Yeah, we can see you.
Hi, everybody. I actually just wanted to comment, make a comment to the lady who was talking about the heavy energy in schools. Is that Catherine? Who was that? Sorry, I can't remember her name.
JH. Yep.
No. JH. Hi. I just thought, I have a child in the school system, public school system here in Australia, but I am aware of the heavy energy around that system. And the way that I've dealt with it, I'm not involved myself closely. I volunteer at the school, but I don't teach. But I thought that when you feel, if you can pick up maybe more specifically sometimes the nuances of the dense energy. So you might feel it and it might be around a certain issue, then if you can maybe ask that it be transmuted and turn your attention, I know it's not always easy in that atmosphere, to how you would like it to look differently or be changed, or what you would like to see instead. Because that's setting in motion an intention, an idea, a thought, and it's creation, or, you know, it's creating the new. This is how we create the new, by setting forth the idea of how we want it to look. This is how I do it. You know, sometimes I have to wait till I'm in meditation to really get into that space. But I find sometimes when I do that and I can go deep into that, it's then a bit easier to see the cracks and the light coming forth in that way, in going back into it, seeing how, although it may be slow and tiny, there's a little change, there's a little bit of light there, there's a little bit of, you know, there's a shift. It's more easy to shift the perception, our own perception. And this is how I guess you could help it, you help raise your own vibration in that space, to be able to see how their love is there, even though it might be hard to see at the time. I don't know if that helps, but that was an idea that came to me in response to that, because I think it's really important at the moment to be addressing, if we can, the fact that yes, all these systems, old systems, are collapsing, they're dying, but we're the ones creating the new world. And, you know, it can just be an idea at first, but that's all it really takes, is basically setting forth, as you said, Shawna, the intention. And then it sets in motion, basically, the fruition or manifestation of that, hopefully. I mean, you know, easier said than done, I know, but that was just what I had to share about that anyway.
Can I respond to that?
For sure.
I
Yeah,
just wanted to
yeah,
say
absolutely.
thank you for saying that, because after I stopped talking, I had this thought come through that was like, to have radical acceptance of what is happening with the school system, because part of the problem why it feels so heavy is because we just can't find people, you know, like people leaving the profession. So you've got, you know, there's no substitutes, and you have 15 people call out sick. You know, it's just really hard to run. And my school in particular, it's all children with special needs, so we need a lot of helpers. But then I was thinking also to what you said after the radical acceptance, like to dream something new in, because it's going to have to be really different, I think.
Yeah.
You guys might be able to put that in motion, those creative forces into manifestation. So yeah, dream real big, dream big with this. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice work, guys.
I know it's not easy, but I guess this is where the imagination comes in. Like I even sometimes I think, like, try and imagine something. It may not even have any relationship whatsoever with how it is at the moment.
Yes.
But I just go, well, you know, how would it be that if I wanted it to be the way I would have wanted to be taught, or something that I didn't get that I want, you know, just bringing more of this information into schools, meditation, anything that is conducive to the fostering and the nurturing of a broader picture of this, of a more spiritual awareness. And obviously special needs, they're people that are here to teach us just as much as we are to guide them. So anyway, I just think it is, we need to get creative with our
Super
solutions.
creative, like the sky's the limit. Think big, guys. Think huge. Yeah, love it. Love it.
Yeah,
New energies, guys. We need new energies, new ideas, new thoughts.
Yeah.
This is Sarah, exactly what you said. We're creating the new earth here.
Yeah.
It's time.
Anyway.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautifully stated. Thanks for that, Sarah. Thanks, guys. Sandra, have something to add to that too?
Yes, because I'm a 7th and 8th grade science and math teacher in the public school system, and totally, oh my gosh, so much heavy energy, but the poor students are the ones that suffer, under it all. And so I do try to bring in the light, but also I think, like Sarah was saying, whenever you can teach the children something new. So what I've done with my students is I thought, it's my last year teaching anyway, I retire. So I figured, okay, let them fire me if I'm doing something wrong here. But anyway, I've been having the students meditate. I've been talking to them. Well, since I'm a science teacher, I say everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. It's, it's not created. It has existed. It just transforms and transmutes and it changes. And so then I showed them a couple of YouTube videos on quantum energy and about how there's so much out there that is unseen than seen, so I'm trying to just
how fun. I love this.
Broaden their perspective a little bit on that. And but I also truly feel like the whole system needs to be deconstructed, and that's what's happening now. That's why we can't find teachers. And it's like I totally am on board with let it fall apart. Let it fall apart, because that's the only way things can change. And so if they can't find a substitute teacher and they have to start putting more kids in the class, well, and then those teachers get upset, well, that's all a process. The fact that people are getting so upset because they're working so hard, that needs to be brought to somebody's attention, and so anyway, I was just thinking that maybe JH can do something like that too, just bring all of that stuff into her classroom with her kiddos.
Love it. Thank you so much. That was beautiful, Sandra. Yeah, guys, we're creating this. Melchizedek said these are all, everything's crumbling. It's starting now. It's already happening, and this is a good thing. But hard for you guys on the front lines with these systems that are not working anymore. But we will persevere. We will come up with something, and it will be better eventually. But it's painful right now. We're in this in-between state. It's going to continue to be painful. Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. Anybody else with the hand raised? Anybody else want to say anything here? Don't be shy. Maybe we're feeling that we are.
Shauna.
You're welcome,
Me
Malik.
again.
Yeah.
So
you have
I
something
just
else to add? Yeah.
wanted to touch on something earlier. You said you were kind of calling out to see who had anything to say about the empaths and the energy work when it comes to being an empath. It is very difficult, especially in a public school system. And in my experience as a gamer, for one, because I totally love the gaming community. A lot of my friends, they're still in the public school system. And I tell them, I try to tell them, like, hey, you guys, be grateful for your public school teachers, because you don't know, like, that really is love that they're trying to bring to you guys. And let's be honest, like, they could go and work at a private school, which is why sometimes it is difficult to find as many people. And I totally understand that, which is why I always do my best to let my friends know, or anyone who's still in the public school system, to just be grateful, and to, like, even though your teacher may not be coming off the right way, like, you need to do your best to separate whatever issues or traumas that you may have, and make sure that they don't follow you to your school and your learning environment and stuff like that. So I did want to touch on that and say that I have love for you, love for all public school teachers, and I recognize your plight, and I recognize the how hard you're working and what it is that you do, because my mom was a public school teacher, so I know. And as for the empaths and for the energy work, one thing that has helped me a lot is just recognizing that every time we pick up on energy from another individual, there's a connection that's being made in between these two bodies, and that transfer of energy, it's going to take a little bit of energy from you, like every time as well. So at the end of the day, sometimes you may feel drained, and in these heavy and dense environments, it's very difficult for spiritual or sensitive people to function and to really maintain their energy. And one thing I would just want to say is that just be aware that a lot of that denseness and that energy and what may come out towards you as a public school teacher, it's not always intended for you. And it may not, like, it may come from home. And I'm sure you're aware of that as a school teacher, but a vast majority of the time, these kids are coming from broken homes. Like, I came from one, and I'm just being honest here. And we don't always know how to handle these energies in a classroom environment. So like I said, I know it's very difficult for public school teachers. So my heart goes out and my love goes out there for you guys.
Well said, Malik. Thank you so much. It's so true. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Brandy raised your hand.
I had to turn my mute off or on. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your videos. Thank you for the Zoom to be a part of this. I feel all of you, and I just really wanted to say thank you.
That is so sweet. I feel your love, Brandy, and I'm loving your dragonflies. I'm so glad that you're here. It is a pleasure and an honor to be helpful and to be able to impact this and support you all in this way. And look at all the love I get back. Look at this beautiful dynamic we have. I'm feeling so much gratitude. So thank you, Brandy. Thank you so much. Brandy, where are you at in the world?
I am in Utah.
Utah. Okay. Beautiful country. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandy. Allie, how about you, hun?
I guess it was on the dream part. I'm just wondering if anybody here is having those lucid dreams, because I am, and it's very weird. And now I'm remembering them all. And this is going to sound very weird, but it's like, I don't know who the people are. They're strangers. They're dressed up in weird characters. And I am basically arguing with them and wrapping myself in light and telling them that they have to go to the light. Then I wake up and I got a migraine and I'm exhausted, and it's happening pretty much every night. I'm just wondering if anybody else is going through this, and what the hell is this?
There's something called the bardo. Look it up, Allie. You may be helping. Bardo, the bardo. It's like this in-betweener state. You don't have to be dead to be in there. You can even be just daydreaming or something. But there's this idea that, here we are on the planet in embodiment, but we are in our dreams while our body's sleeping. We're on the bardo, helping people transition, move on, what have you. So check that out. Do some internet research on that. Yeah, wow. And keep a good dream journal if you can. Do whatever's easy, like recording it into a phone. Maybe you don't want to write all this stuff out all the time, but start to keep a journal of this. Is fascinating.
I don't even have to anymore, because the scenarios they're all similar.
Yeah.
And basically it's like I'm in, like last night, it was extremely weird. I was like I wouldn't even call it space, but like tunnels, if you will.
Wow.
And there's a whole bunch of them coming. They don't come near me, but they stand around me. And then I run from them. At first, like last night, I ran a bit and I was helping people run from them. And then we stopped, and then we just shielded ourselves. And then, I don't even want to say this because it sounds ridiculous, but it's like I'm in uniform.
So you're playing a formal role there in that plane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound crazy to me at all. It sounds like a lot of us are doing that. That doesn't sound crazy at all to me.
Okay.
There's
That's
nothing
why I
anybody
really
could say
wanted.
that's going to sound crazy, by the way, but that sounds actually completely real and normal, Allie. Yeah. JH, did you have something to add to this for Allie?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I have a 14-year-old son, and he recently started telling me about his dreams, and they're weird too. And he's waking up also kind of exhausted, but he's telling me he's in like an alternate universe where
Yeah.
things are just like slightly different, but he's completely aware. And
Yeah.
when he ends up there, he's like afraid because they know who he is and he doesn't really know who they are, and he's aware of it.
I used to be afraid and now I'm not. And what I do is I before I go to bed, I ask source light to wrap me in light and crystalline light. I put some crystals by my bed. I have the cross by my bed, and I have a Christmas ornament of the Virgin Mary by my bed. Sounds silly, but yeah, that's why I want to come on, and I was kind of hesitant because just want to know if anybody else is doing this. Like, it's pretty weird.
Yeah.
You know, and as I was telling you now, just from me exposing it to you guys, my head, it feels like it's going to explode. It's like I'm being stopped not to share this. It sounds really weird, but yeah. Anybody else doing that? No? Okay.
Oh, I'm right there with you. I have Cryon right now I feel him in my field, and the energy is just saying, Malik, speak. And what I'm feeling now is like, just the other day, I actually had this experience on Halloween, nonetheless, of sleep paralysis, where it's where the mind is awake, but your body is still asleep. And I've experienced this several times before, and I know that it does have a connection to like astral projection and things of that nature. And like for me personally speaking, every time it's like terrifying. And I have experienced astral projection before. Like I have had episodes where I just like pass out, and the doctors are just like, there's nothing wrong with you. Your blood pressure is fine. Everything about you is fine. It just kind of happened. And like inside of me, I kind of knew what happened, but I never really felt comfortable sharing it because I'm just like, people are going to tell, like, I'm crazy. You're crazy. You don't know what's happening, like Looney Tunes, right? But these experiences, they were very like powerful for me. Like, and I do feel that I should share this one very quick story. I had a friend who she passed out because we had a very powerful experience to where as empaths, we all connected and we were in each other's energy fields and we had our own energy grid. And the energy was very intense for her. So she actually astral projected, left her body for a little while. And everyone thought like, oh, she passed out, she must be on drugs. And the situation, it was just blown out of, it was crazy. I ended up astral projecting as well. I heard all the commotion. It's like my spirit felt so like trapped in my body, like because there's just so much commotion and I just felt like I had to get away. So I'll tell you, like, you're not alone in these experiences. They are very scary, like for me. But one thing that I have learned is that as a being of light, sometimes we have these abilities and sometimes these things happen, and it's a matter of not being afraid and just walking towards the light and having the courage to be who you are and embrace all of who you are and just do as best you can. So yeah, I'm right there with you and just letting you know that you're not alone and it is scary. And yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Allie, too, I mean, maybe before you go to bed, set some intentions and call your team in, just assume they'll be there and be helping you, and ask for help with it feels like you've got just some stuck energy in here, and it might be kind of just say some anxiety, but ask for help in clearing this out, and make sure you're doing some grounding and you're bringing that earth energy right up through your body, right out your crown, maybe every night before bed or every time when you wake up or something. But
Okay.
ask for help, set your intentions, all that good stuff, and best of luck. Well, keep me posted on that. Wow.
I will.
And thank you,
Thank you.
Malik. Thank you, Malik, for that help too.
And Allie, read in the chat because a couple people have said something in the chat.
Okay.
Sarah, did you have your hand still up? Did you have something else to add, hun?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that. Apparently, there's a lot happening in the astral. So a lot of us are light workers here on, in our waking conscious state, but we're here at this time in this planet because we are quite powerful, doing a lot also in the astral on other planes of existence. What I would say to that is that just understand that not only is that happening, but because this is what you're doing on another level, you are already protected. You already have the light behind you. And it's the translation from that to the conscious waking is causing you to feel fear, feel like afraid. And so that's probably what the block is, like Shawna said. So if you can just try and trust that you are backed by the light. This is why you are doing, how you are doing, what you're doing on the astral plane in your sleeping time, then perhaps you'll be able to shift some of that heavier energy that is coming about as a result of the fear. It is normal to fear that, but if you can release that, you'll find that you might even become more conscious of it being something that you're actually helping with. And that's what I would say to that. Also, I don't have too many lucid experiences, but I've had a few powerful dreams where I too seem to be, or a lot of us are doing this, let's just say helping fight the dark. I don't like using the word fight, but we're bringing in the light, and we're light workers. So we're shining our light as a means of overcoming the darkness that's here. And so we leave ourselves sometimes open to psychic attack. But as long as we stay in the presence of the light that we hold within, then they can't get to us. That's the truth of it. So it's also trying not to buy into the fear, because that's kind of a bit of an open doorway to allowing the darkness in. But ultimately, the light is so much more powerful. Anyway, I had a dream where I had been feeling a lot of fear over what has been going on, and in terms of the dark influence perhaps on this earth. And I had a dream, and there were a lot of dark beings watching me and coming after me, and I just remember calling in the dream, calling on my guides to be with me, and suddenly I just knew that as long as I held the presence of love, even toward these beings that were very, very threatening, they could not touch me. They could not touch me. And ultimately that, I was like, oh, wow. And they were trying everything to get to me. And I was just holding this presence of love. I was just holding my love. I was just sending love into their eyes, like I was having a standoff with them. And I just realized in the dream that I was untouchable, and that ultimately there was nothing they could do as long as you held the light of love within your heart, in presence of love, and there's absolutely nothing that can hurt you. And that's the superpower. That's the superpower that we have, if we can just remember that. So I don't know if that helps. I know it can be hard going. There's a lot going on.
I love it, Sarah. It's so
But that's
beautifully
my
stated. It's
take
the
on it.
truth. This is the truth of what the guides have been saying all along. Love's going to trump this the darkness every time. I mean, just think of the physics of it. A light shining in a dark corner illuminates that dark corner. Like the dark literally cannot stand up to the light. That's beautiful. And our dreams are so good for that. Because it really is a true test of kind of where we're at. I think, how we react in our dream. I'd like to say all day, yeah, I'm not afraid, but then you get into a dream and that's when it's really tested. Nice.
Yeah, your challenge.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Anyway.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks.
Allie, did you have something else?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, team. Anybody else want to speak? Anybody else want to share? This has been really amazing. I am going to go ahead and post this to YouTube. Thank you all so much for showing up for yourselves too, and being here to support each other. I love you guys so much, and I'm just full of gratitude for all of you right now. Thank you, teams, for being here to support us. As always, we love you and we appreciate you. So we will close this out, team. Big group hug. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Mary, it's good to see you. We didn't get to chat. It was good to see you, Mary. All right, guys. Big kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Take care, everybody. Bye.